Is a companion to Cedar Point or a competition?
No, I think they complement each other. I'll tell you, Jasper Lococo was from Sandusky. Some of you may know him. When Great Wolf opened out here before Kalahari, Jasper and I would watch it go up and say, boy, that guy's got to lose money. There's no way that's going to make it. And then when Kalahari opened, we thought, where are these people going to come from? Because there's nobody here in the winter. But both of those properties have really proven to be successful, and they really complement each other. In fact, I always was on the record as saying that nothing in Sandusky could hurt Cedar Point, because people, if they come to the area to go there, they're going to come to Cedar Point. That's because there's nothing like Cedar Point in the world. You can't just go down the street to go to Cedar Point. It's a pretty unusual place.
Yeah, I work there and I see that all the time. We see people that come there, spend their day at Cedar Point.
Yeah.
We see that a lot.
Mm-hmm. No, we love to have hotels built, and just like Matt's opening the sports complex, that was all. Young kids into the park, and his biggest winners are going to be the kids that lose, because they won't be able to play baseball. They're going to the park. So he's no dummy.
Yeah. That's real nice too.
Anything else? Yes.
Who are some of the more famous people to visit the park?
To visit the park?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Boy, I don't
Celebrities you
know.
see.
They come and go without us really knowing it. But, I'm trying to think of the night. Who are some of the employees that work for the park? What was the
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall, yeah, he was a magician.
And Esapatha Merkelson.
Yes, from Law and Order, she worked there. And but there's been a lot of Broadway people that don't get big names, but they start out at Cedar Point, and it's almost like vaudeville.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman was there recently.
Was he?
Within the past couple of years, yeah. Can I tell a good story about that?
Sure, absolutely.
One day, I retired after 26 years in the marketing department, and we got word that Lenny Kravitz, the rock star, was going. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lenny Kravitz was going to be coming to the park, and so they contacted the public relations department to get an escorted tour around the park. And as per we did every time we got a famous visitor at that point in time, we called our general manager at the time, and we let him know that we said Lenny Kravitz is going to be coming to the park. Well, he showed up in the marketing office like within 10 seconds and was there because he was really excited. He was a country western fan, and he heard Randy Travis was going to be And Lenny Kravitz showed up in an orange velvet jumpsuit and met the general manager, who was very gracious and very cordial, but not exactly what he was expecting.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
And of course, Monica was there.
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky was there.
Oh, I was there for that. They heckled her because that was during the controversy with Mr. Clinton, yes.
But I can't think of any. They come and go. They really don't let us know who's coming.
Wayne Newton comes a lot because
Yes.
his sister-in-law lives in Cleveland, so he's been there several times.
And he likes the Raptor, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Two of the things I've always appreciated about Cedar Point, first of all, is the great job that you do with landscaping and beautification and the flower beds and keeping the place clean. I think that's a real tribute to Cedar Fair and its operations. And then secondly is the talent that you have at the live shows. They do a wonderful job, and I'd go just to see that.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, if you go to the Jack Aldridge Theater, that theater was named for him. There's a nice plaque on the side of the building. And actually, Jack started that whole program. We had an outside contractor do that for many years, and then Jack Aldridge was asked if he could head it up. And his father and Jack himself were band directors at Sandusky High School. Yeah. And they did all of the interviews and went on the audition tours, and he hired Marge Cronenwit, who did a great job. And they had really part of Cedar Fair's success is our people were really together a long time. We really did have a great group of people that worked together. We all sort of worked together for the good of the park, but we knew that it was almost like associating with the sports franchise. There was a season, but once that season ended, it was over, and you had time to catch your breath and regroup and correct your mistakes and then start all over again. And I'm sort of known to be a hard worker, a hard driver of work. Well, I demanded a lot of hours from the people. Once the park closed, I expected everyone to take their vacation times and take Christmas off and Thanksgiving. And we had normal benefits that a lot of people didn't think we had. If you were there for 10 years, you had a month's vacation. There were a lot of good benefits. In fact, when I took the job at Cedar Point in 1972, my father asked me, well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to live? Where are you going to live? And what are you going to do in the winter? And do they have benefits? And he thought I was going to work for a carnival. That's a true story. He really did question why I was going to work at Cedar Point. But he learned very quickly that it was a great company to work for. I can't.
Your success in business really speaks for itself, but how do you hope to be remembered?
Geez, I don't know. Basically, as I said, I'm really proud to be part of its history, and for the coasters and things like that. But just being recognized is nice. Just like having the nice comments that you people say here, and Tim O'Brien was nice enough to write that book. I didn't solicit it or anything. I'm not part of it or anything, but that makes a nice. Something I can leave for my children and grandchildren, and that's really what it's all about, is leaving something for your heirs. And so hopefully their grandchildren will say, my grandpa was at Cedar Point, just like Beckling's heirs. They're really proud of the job that George Beckling did at Cedar Point when he first started, or went back in 1930 and whatever that was, or 1899, and started the park. So that's just part of it. But like I say, it was a great company to work for, and I always told them that basically I represented the greatest people in the world. It just so happened that my name was in the paper, but they were really responsible for all the success, and they really were. If you believe the people we have climbing those roller coasters, and if ever there's a problem, they're out there 24 hours. We had 2 tornadoes when I was there, and the guys came in at all hours of the night. One time we had a tornado, and the park opened the next day. The only thing we lost was half a frontier town. Yeah. Until noon. And Harry Bray had guys, we had people that were staying in the campgrounds. One guy, the only reason I remember this is Harry Bray told me, who was the director of maintenance or vice president of maintenance, he happened to have a chainsaw in his camper, and he came out, worked all night and helped so we could open the park. So it really is it's a very unusual company, but a great one to represent. Yes, sir.
With your emphasis on, as you grew, bigger, better coasters, how did you consider Cedar Point's unique geography? Did you ever think that was a limit, or did you consider it an advantage?
Well, yeah, the last part first. We really did know the demographics were changing in the north. The population base just is not here. And as I mentioned, Cedar Point was a major contributor of profits and attendance and revenue. And we had to get some diversity. And like the only southern park we had was Southern California. So the Paramount parks played a big role in that. And so we tried to get geographic diversity with those parks, which we accomplished. But yeah, that was a big role in our expansion plans, was to try to get some diversity. The only thing I told the board that when we said we were going to go to expand the company, the only place I did not want to go is I did not want to leave the United States. And I told that to all the investors except Canada, North America, I guess I should say, is I did not want to go outside because our management style was one that I used our management basically at Cedar Point to help all the other parks. I didn't want them being shipped to Germany and all over the place. And it was tough enough doing business in California. I didn't want to go to Europe and do business. So, but all those things did play a role. Did I answer your question? Was there another one in there? Good, thank you. Diane?
Are there any decisions you regret or anything else you would have done differently had you go back to do it again?
And not really. You really can't look back, but no, I've never changed anything I did my whole life. No, I'm very, very happy, and I've thought about that because you always wonder what would you do differently. I'm not saying that everything I did was right, but I always did it what I thought was for the best of the unit holders and best for the management company and the employees. And as I said, if you ask yourself what's best for the company, you're going to make the right decisions. And at the time, all the decisions I made were based on what I thought was best for Cedar Fair or Cedar Point or for the employees. I wouldn't change anything. I'm not saying they were all right, but I wouldn't change anything because everything has an opposite reaction and something else could happen. Yeah.
So you all bought Snoopy?
When we bought the Paramount part, the Knott's Berry Farm in 1997, we inherited the rights to Snoopy, yes. We had to
Why do you see some Snoopy character advertising for an insurance company?
well, they can sell those rights to everyone. The Knott family, or not the Knott family, but the Schultz family has the rights to those. And it used to be, he was the second highest paid dead person in the world, only behind Elvis, up until a time that Jackson died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's third. But that Snoopy character is well known, and so they had the right to sell that to other people. But we have the rights for all amusement parks and things like that in the United States. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Dick mentioned the book that Tim O'Brien wrote, and that's here, and it's very interesting. Great book, available at Amazon and your usual venues. And I would like to present this as a small token.
Thank you, Andy.
To you and Judy for your support of the college, and of course for the great talk you gave here today.
Should I open it now?
Sure.
I don't want to break it.
The glass pieces were made by our resident glassblower at BGSU, Joel Dorizio, in celebration of our 50th
Oh,
anniversary.
yes, that's pretty.
Beautiful. And the orange and black.
That's right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.